Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Palantir's 3030 Club. My name is Adam Bergman, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Palantir. In today's video, it's going to be broken down into three basic segments. The first segment, I'm going to revisit Palantir's partnership with Ukraine and talk about the reconstruction plan that's estimated to cost over $400 billion over the next decade, and what that means for Palantir. And if you're curious why I'm bringing this up again, well, today I was reading that Zelensky is asking for high-level peace talks to end the war. If this is going to end tomorrow, absolutely not, but I do believe that this war is going to be ending in 2024. In the second part of today's video, I want to talk about a cryptic message from Palantir. They actually posted a quick 15-second snippet on Twitter. I want to share that with you and ask you, what do you think that means? They just literally posted a small clip. While I'm doing that, I want to talk a little bit about Davos 2024. And finally, I want to keep the last segment as per usual, talking about options. I'll probably be talking a little bit about technical analysis when it comes to finding a stock to sell. Remember, on this channel, I prefer to be the bank where I am selling options and not buying options. If this is something you can get behind, definitely sit back, relax, enjoy the screen right here. But before you do that, make sure you give me a comment, a like, and subscribe, because it definitely helps me with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Take a look at the screen. This is a statement that came out. It literally says Zelensky asks Swiss to hold Ukraine peace summit. If you're unaware right now, there's a huge event going on, Davos 2024. And Davos 2024 is essentially where all super high-powered individuals, really rich billionaires, high-level CEOs and executives of companies and heads of state meet and talk about a bunch of stuff in the world. Palantir is present, which I'll get to a little bit later in this video. And this was a perfect opportunity for Zelensky to talk about that. So it says Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Monday asked Switzerland to hold a high-level peace summit of world leaders on ending Russia's full-scale invasion, but without inviting Moscow. So I just want to be very, very clear. Moscow did make a comment about this and said that any negotiations without us is absolutely futile, which absolutely makes sense. However, I've been reading some news around this, and they're saying that this is eventually going to lead to a sit-down with Moscow and Russia. So let's see what's going to happen. I hope this is not all fluff and all bullshit. And listen, this war was supposed to last 3 days. It's invasion, whatever you want to call it, special operation. It's going on past 3 years. Now, Russia controls just under 20% of Ukraine. Ukraine has taken heavy losses. Russia is taking heavy losses, monetary losses, both sides. And this war has to end, and I'm sure both sides want to end this war. This war is probably going to end with Russia owning Crimea and Russia owning the Donbass area. That's going to become uncontested, and Russia's going to leave the rest of Ukraine alone. This is my prediction. This is what I have been saying the entire 2023 and saying that the war is going to end in 2024. Let's see what's going to happen. Zelensky held talks with Swiss President Viola Amhred during a visit to Bern before heading to the World Economic Forum annual meeting in the Swiss ski resort. Our teams from tomorrow are starting the preparations for holding in Switzerland a global peace summit, Zelensky told a press conference. This is very, very important. Now, although they said we would want the countries of Global South to be present, for sure, he added, and we would want China to be involved. So although Russia is not going to be there, their proxy, essentially their friends, China, is going to be there. And China is going to want what's good for China and support Russia, but they might sway Russia into actually sitting down and talking with Ukraine. No time scale was given for this. Now, you might say, well, Adam, that's all fine and dandy, but that could be fluff. However, this guy right here is called Mikhail Fedorov, which leads me to the second part of the first part of this video, talking about how Palantir is intertwined with the fate of Ukraine. Mikhail Fedorov is the Digital Transformation Minister, Vice Prime Minister of Innovations, Development of Education, Science, Technology, Minister of Digital Transformation of Ukraine. He's essentially, in my opinion, number 2 or, one of the top people in Ukraine right after Zelensky. So there's a very cool picture. He says, to start the World Economic Forum meeting marathon, I met with Lewis Mosley. Who's Lewis Mosley? Head of Palantir UK, head of Palantir Europe, if I'm not mistaken as well. Talked about the ongoing work in military and humanitarian sphere and focusing on 2024 and cooperation, more integration and situational awareness systems, demining and school rebuilding efforts, looking for new opportunities within the innovations strategy. If you didn't see a video before, they are literally using Palantir AIP to demine Ukraine right now. It's a really, really cool Palantir AIP video. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this and you go a little bit back to May 2023, London, Palantir Technologies, and the Ministry of Digital Transformation of Ukraine have today announced a partnership that will help enable the company's technology to support the defense and reconstruction of the country. Very, very important. Not just defense, and reconstruction of the country. What are they going to do? Enhance the digital capabilities for electronic public services, providing the defense and reconstruction of Ukraine, supporting and coordinating a digitally led reconstruction of Ukraine, consolidating the efforts in the field of digitalization, digital innovations, and integration of Ukraine into the international market, and promoting the implementations of projects with the support of the armed forces of Ukraine. So you might say, well, Adam, that's all fine and dandy again, but that's all bullshit. It's all fluff. It's just wording. It doesn't actually mean anything. So you got to follow the breadcrumbs. You got to be able to connect the dots. Once this war is over, Palantir is going to make bank in Ukraine over the next decade. It's probably going to be the third or fourth largest playground for Palantir, the third or fourth largest market for Palantir. First is going to be the US, of course. Second is probably going to be the UK forever. And then after that, it's probably going to be a toss-up between Japan, Israel, and Ukraine. I know you think Israel is such a small country, but I did make a video explaining to you that Israel's defense budget is number 12 in the world, and Israel's GDP is number 26 in the world, for a country being the size of New Jersey with a population of only 9 million, including over 2 million Arabs with full rights 100%, just like any other citizen of Israel, holding high offices in Israel. Believe it or not, Israel is a major powerhouse and huge opportunities for Palantir in the future, but Ukraine can and will remain one of the top 4 markets for Palantir in the future when it comes to the rebuilding. So I'm connecting the dots of eventually this war is going to end. As I said, it was only supposed to last 3 days. We're going over 3 years now. In another winter right now that seems not to be too brutal so far. And after the winter, basically negotiations are going to be more readily available. Putin, Russia was banking that the winters are going to be absolutely terrible for Ukraine. And that's a lot of the ways that Russia wins with. It's called Vigrit Shapkami. You win with hats. I speak Russian. And that doesn't seem to be working. Now, I'm not saying Ukraine is winning. I'm not saying Russia's winning. I'm saying that there's a major stalemate right here, that both countries are pretty much on a standstill. So what's going to happen in the future? More Ukrainians are going to die. More Russians are going to die. Literally an entire Ukrainian generation is being wiped out. But I believe Russia is going to hold Donbass. Russia is going to hold Crimea. Ukraine is going to stop contesting that. Ukraine is going to go on to rebuilding the country. Russia is going to be able to get a victory here, telling their people, hey, we won. We took what we wanted to. We liberated the Russian-speaking people of Ukraine. We destroyed the Nazis of Ukraine. And Ukraine is going to say, we won because Russia didn't take over the country. They just took these little parts, and our small country was able to be victorious against the big, bad Russians. This is what I foresee happening. So that leads us into Palantir, and you guys saying, Adam, thank you for the breadcrumbs. Thank you for connecting the dots. But this is all bullshit. It's just a publication from Palantir. And to this, I'm going to say, take a look at the screen. Okay, this is a screen. That's that guy, Mikhail Fedorov, again. And this is back in May 2025, 2023. I'm sorry, May 25th, 2023, at the same time that the publication came out of a partnership, and it says a new stage of cooperation with Palantir Tech. Ukraine will use Palantir solutions to make the rebuilding process transparent, efficient, signed Ministry of signed MOU, I don't know, to strengthen our digital efforts. Ukraine is turning into the best testing ground for products at Lewis Mosley. This is the key right here, the best testing ground for products. They are literally testing Palantir AIP for military in Ukraine. They're definitely testing Palantir, some types of military uses in Israel right now. And all of this trickles down to the United States armed forces. All of this is helping the United States in the future. As I said before, one of the key powers of Palantir is quite simple. They essentially get paid to do research and development and actual use cases, actual, not in theory, not theoretical, in actuality. On the battlefield, it's currently being tested. And after this is being tested there, it trickles down to the US military. And after the US military, it trickles down to commercial use cases, so on and so forth. And then he's literally talking about this article right here with Palantir. Now you might say, well, Adam, that's really, really good. And it sounds really, really good. By the way, just look at the pictures because everyone's going to be doubting this, that it's fake. It's not fake. And Palantir was actually the first company. Alex Karp was the first CEO in Ukraine, while others are supporting Ukraine through, telezoom meetings and shit. Palantir is actually on the ground. And this is from Statistica. And they're saying that $411 billion to rebuild Ukraine. Estimated reconstruction cost of damages and losses caused by the war in Ukraine as of February 24, 2023. Remember, this is literally a year ago. You could imagine how much more it is right now. I'm sure that we are over $500 billion. 68 billion. Now, I'm sorry, before I read this, do me a solid, okay? Let's just figure this out. I want you, while I'm reading this, while you see this right here, how many of these things can you spot that Palantir can help with? Please go through literally all of this and tell me which one of these Palantir can actually help with. But before you do, I would like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is myself. I'm sponsoring my own channel. I work very, very hard to bring a lot of content. And I want to say, if you want to support the channel, I have a link down below to channel membership. It's $3 a month. Channel members get a weekly live 8 o'clock Eastern time PM every single Wednesday, where I will be reviewing options, specifically being the banking options, and specifically using options, selling options, cash secured puts, covered calls, iron condors, credit spreads, so on and so forth, to supplement your income. So it's not necessarily to make as much gains as possible. It's to maximize your returns and increase your weekly salary by being the bank and selling options. If this is something that you would like to learn, I have a link down below. Again, it's $3 a month. I think it's an absolutely amazing deal. And with this, you will have private member lives every single week. And the members can join the lives where we can actually speak on video. You don't just have to type. If this is something you want, click the link down below. Now let's get back to your regularly scheduled program. All right, so which ones of these can Palantir help with? $68 billion for housing. Yes, they can help. $41 billion for social protection and livelihoods, $16.4 billion for health. You know Palantir is all over that. $10 billion for education and science, $6.9 billion for culture and tourism, $92 billion for transport, $47 billion for energy and extras. You know Palantir is already in the energy business. $17 billion for other infrastructure. You know Palantir is all about this. Agriculture, yep. Commercial and industry, yep. Other productive, I guess. I don't know what that exactly is, but that's another $30 billion, $23 billion, $15 billion. And cross-cutting sectors, $37 billion for explosive hazard management, yep. $3.6 billion for other cross-cutting. Now, I'm not saying Palantir is going to get all of that. What I am saying is the fruits of Palantir's labor will be grown very soon. We are planting seeds over the last 3 years. This is not all for nothing. As per Shyam Sankar, take a look at this tweet. This is a recent tweet by Shyam Sankar. Today was an incredibly informative and helpful. The national security staff was on point and engaged. The determination of other participants was inspiring. He's talking about Ukraine is the world's best battle lab. Again, a lot of people are hating on what's happening in Ukraine and how much money is being spent in Ukraine. And yes, it's a shit ton of money, and I wish it wasn't so much. I believe it's ridiculously excessive. However, this is a battle lab. We are testing our technology, and he's talking about our current lend-lease was a crucial precondition to winning World War II. Ukraine is our lend-lease moment. If you think for 1 second that Palantir is not going to prosper once this war is over, in whatever capacity it will be over, then you are absolutely a schmuck and you are overlooking the significance of this partnership between Ukraine and Palantir. Ukraine will not cease to exist. Russia will not take over 100% of Ukraine. I'm telling you that with certainty, that Ukraine will not be Russia. Now, whatever's gonna happen, Ukraine has to rebuild, and Palantir is going to be frontline and center in that rebuilding. Now, speaking about Davos 2024, as I said, Dr. Alex Karp is going to be present. I'll let you know how. It wasn't officially announced, but Amit put out a really good tweet. And when he speaks at Davos, he's been speaking for the last several years, as far as I saw, and even before they went public, he was speaking at Davos. The fact that Palantir, Dr. Alex Karp, is talking with a company that's only worth $40 billion, where the participants over there, some people speaking, are worth over $40 billion, is absolutely ridiculous. And we are small fish when it comes to being, big companies, and we get a lot of respect, and we are at the world stage, literally. So it's going to be really, really cool to see that video later on. This is a tweet from Amit. Shout out to Amit. Although not publicly announced, Palantir CEO Alex Karp will be speaking at the World Economic Forum Davos, taking place this week. This is from a Swiss media website. Will represent the U.S. tech corporation. Speeches are expected from Mark Benoff, CEO, enterprise software specialist at Salesforce, a massive multi-hundred-billion-dollar company. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, which is literally a $3 trillion company. This is the biggest publicly traded company in the world. And Alex Karp from data analysis firm Palantir. The billionaire Microsoft founder and philanthropist Bill Gates is also expected to be a guest, and Bill Gates is worth over $100 billion as well. As I said, Bill Gates is worth 3 times almost what Palantir is worth in total. And think about that. Salesforce, I believe, is like $250 billion worth the company. Microsoft, $3 trillion. Bill Gates is worth like 110 billion, 120 billion, I don't know. And then Alex Karp, I believe, is worth like $1 billion. And Palantir is worth south of $40 billion. And I believe that Arnie actually said the fact that it's including among these names is telling the weight he has, despite Palantir being only $40 billion market cap. The fact that Karp is going to be there, that's going to be a really, really big deal, guys. Don't underestimate how powerful Palantir is. There's definitely a disconnect between the power and the influence of Palantir and the market cap of Palantir. We just have to convert that AIP and get to it. I want to take you to the last part of this section of the video. Palantir puts out this tweet. They literally wrote human line, AI line, human. This is all it is right here. Let's look at it big. It's literally 22 seconds. That's all it literally is. I'm not exactly sure what this is. I'm assuming that this cut off and there's something longer to go with this. And the entire Palantir community has no idea what this is. And that's why I wanted to ask you, give me your best guess down below in the comments. CodeStrap actually said something, and so did I. So let me give you the comments. I actually wrote, I'm calling this right now. Palantir is hinting at working with Tesla Optimus robot. Who knows? I'm just saying, when you have the human and then AI and then human, the human element would be Palantir, AI would be the Optimus program. And then between this, you have a human-like AI or human emotions. I don't know. That's my best guess. And CodeStrap wrote, by the way, definitely shout out to CodeStrap. He's an OG, and he actually works with PwC as a consultant, one of the 2 ambassadors in the world for Palantir. And he says, augmented intelligence means both parties working together to solve complex problems, a symbiotic relationship where both parties learn from each other. Real life human something, I guess, AI intuition, multi-agent frameworks for collaborative workflows. And he says, or just some cool visuals after a heavy conversation about AI. Really, really cool. This brings me to the last part of today's video. I'm going to be talking about options. I'm going to be talking a little bit about finding a good options play and correlating that to option-specific technical analysis using Bollinger Bands. But this is specifically for when you are the bank and you are selling options. This is specifically a technique for selling options, not buying, but selling. If this is something that you're going to enjoy, become a channel member down below. It's $3 a month. And I have weekly at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays, Q&As where it's just channel members, and you can actually join the live. I'm starting them this week in 2 days, so please definitely check it out. Okay, take a look at this. This is my account for Robinhood. Let's go to Palantir just to make stuff easy. Actually, let's go to Tesla. So you have two choices when you're trading your options. You can sell a call, you can sell a put, or you can even build something which is called a put credit spread. A put credit spread is a little bit more advanced. You don't need as much money as selling a put because you need to be able to cover, and I'll talk about selling a cash secured put in a moment. However, you can actually lose all your money. A cash secured put means that you are putting up collateral to buy shares at a later time. And a covered call says you already own the shares and you will be selling your shares at a later time. You can also do a call debit spread instead of a put credit spread, but I like to collect credits instead of paying debits, whatever. So let's do sell. And it doesn't matter if you are selling a call or selling a put. I want to explain to you how to find a decent deal. If you are selling a call, you're going to be selling above the strike price. So let's click. You would want to be somewhere right here. So in general, you want to be around 85% chance, 80 and higher percent chance in your favor. This is considered not to be super duper aggressive. So let's just click on this one right here and go down. When you look at this, you're going to have something called a delta. The delta is 0.19. That means that there is a 19% chance that whoever is buying this contract will win, which means that gives you an 81% chance for selling the contract to win, which means the contract is not going to get assigned and it's going to be expiring worthless. Around 85% of people that buy contracts don't make money, except if you're Jesse, he's making a ton, and so is Shardy B. Now, you take your 81%, and it even gives you this thing that says chance of profit, 84.59%. Why is it 84.59%? Because these numbers all change based on the Greeks. You have a delta, you have a gamma, you have a theta, a vega, and you have a rho. Theta is based on time decay, which means that this contract will decay 0.41 every single day, and these numbers also change. That's all irrelevant. What you want to do on a contract, and I'm not explaining to you, I'm not giving you advice, I'm giving you a basic rule of thumb, but I don't exactly follow these. I'm just giving it for the newbies. That you want to be somewhere around here. 85%, 88%, 80%, things like that. Even if you are selling a put and you are saying that I am willing to buy shares, go all the way back down to the strike price, which is going to be right here at 219. You're going to go a little bit lower, go for chance of profit. Again, you want to be somewhere right here. Chance of profit, 80% and higher. So something like this would be really, really good right here, 85%. Just to give you an understanding of what that exactly means. That means that you are saying that you are willing to buy 100 shares of Tesla. And for this, you would be collecting $110. And you are putting up $28,000 as collateral. However, this is just collateral. You don't actually need to spend that. These numbers fluctuate depending on what shares you're buying. You can do it with Palantir. let's do Palantir really fast because I know you guys are all Palantir heads. Let's do trade Palantir options. Let's do sell a call. If you own Palantir, you want to be selling somewhere right here. This looks really, really good for this week. And remember, these are all weekly contracts. You could do monthly, bi-weekly, 3 weeks, whatever. I prefer weekly, but you could do whatever you want, whatever's good for you. My goal is just to educate. What you do with it is up to you. This looks really, really good. Why? You are 86.8% in your favor that you're going to win, which means Palantir is not going to hit $18 this week. For this, you would collect 10 cents. What does that mean? For every 100 shares that you own, you would collect $10. All right. So that's a 1 week contract. For every 100 shares that you own of Palantir, you would collect $10 for this week. If you are now saying that I'm willing to buy Palantir, you should be buying Palantir right around this right here. This looks like a good contract right here, 88 or 81. You're getting a lot more with 81 right here, 81%. You're saying that you're willing to buy Palantir at $16. Now, you can go up and down and do whatever you guys want. I'm just showing you guys examples. Once you pick out what you want to do, and actually, let me go to Tesla. Go to Tesla right here. I want you to open this up, all right? This is a Tesla chart right here. And what I like to do is the Bollinger Bands. These are the Bollinger Bands right here. Bollinger Bands, you have a moving average right here, which is the orange line right here. Every single one of these candles is a day. And then the Bollinger Band is 2 standard deviations up and down, which covers a good range. Anytime the price of the shares go below the Bollinger Band, it means that it is oversold. And anytime it is above, that means that it is overbought. Anything going outside of the bands doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to tank, but it's a very good basic technical analysis to get stuff started when you're talking about Tesla or Palantir or any other stock. It's a really good technical analysis. This is volume indicators, which we're not going to go over. We're just going to talk about a super basic technical analysis. Tesla looks like it is a really good deal to buy cash secured puts on. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that Tesla looks like it's a really good deal to sell cash secured puts on. If you want to take it a step further, you can go to the RSI. Once RSI is under 30, that means that it is really overbought. Whenever it is above 70, that means that it is when it is below 30, it is way oversold. When it is above 70, it is way overbought. This is at 31.95, which means you are looking really good that Tesla is going to rebound. Doesn't mean it can't go lower. I'm just saying that based on this basic analysis, that Tesla has a really good chance to rebound. There was a floor right here at the 205 level as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Tesla is going to go below this number right here, around this 206 mark, right? Because that's the last time you had a little bit of a support. But in any case, I just want to give you guys some basic technical analysis. If you have TradingView, all you got to do is do Bollinger Bands. If you guys want to know exactly how to set it up, just let me know in the comments down below. I hope you're enjoying these type of videos. I really am getting nice DMs and texts and comments from people. Let me know down below. While you're down there, give me a like, share, and subscribe. And if there's any other specifics that you want me to cover when it comes to selling options, please just let me know. I've been covering, a lot of comments. And I hope to see you as channel members this Wednesday at 8 p.m., where we can go over specific questions about your selling, being the bank, options plays. I'll be happy to answer anything that I am capable to answer without giving financial advice, purely entertainment education. But this has made me over 100 grand last year, just collecting premiums. That's not ups or downs in, share fluctuation. That is just collecting premiums, being the bank. And while you're here, please take a look at this video right here. This is a really awesome video, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it if you like this content from today. Thank you and enjoy your Monday.